So thanks again. And maybe I will just say by way of introduction, my name is Denise Chang Yan. I'm the manager for nature-based solutions for Shell in Canada. I'm part of Shell's global nature-based solutions team. So I lead the efforts in Canada, but we have a team that is around the world. So we have some folks in Asia, Australia, in Latin America, just starting to strengthen the team in the United States. And we have quite a huge contingent in Europe, mainly based in London and the Netherlands, but also some folks in Spain. So again, I'm focused mainly on Canada, but certainly part of what's going on in the global context as well for Shell in this space. I want to also start by just acknowledge that I'm speaking to you today from the traditional territories of the peoples of Treaty 7 in Southern Alberta, otherwise known as the City of Calgary, which is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. And as some of you legal folks will know, or those of you who are exposed to legal folks, because I'm going to be able to speak to you a little bit about some of the forward-thinking or forward-looking things we're working on at Shell, I have to warn you that anything forward-looking, should be considered in that context and not a plan necessarily, but possibilities. And so should you wish to have this slide sent to you in more detail, I'm happy to share that further. I am not sure that everybody will have seen this, so maybe I will start with a little bit of the context around our strategy. On February 11th of this year, Shell updated its strategy for our business. We call this updated strategy Powering Progress. It is not revolutionary in that we haven't shifted and upended the way we are doing things at Shell, but it's part of our evolution. And you will see there that there are 4 pillars of our strategy, which are generating shareholder value, powering lives, achieving net zero emissions, and respecting nature. So Shell is powering progress for our customers through the energy transition with these 4 pillars underpinning how we're approaching our business. And since nature-based solutions fits in most, although it fits into all of those pillars, certainly it's most relevant for the net zero ambition. So our ambition is to be a net zero company by 2050. And that includes our Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 emissions. And for that, what that means in practical terms is that not only are we going to be net zero in the way we produce energy and getting that to our customers, but we're also going to be net zero in the carbon footprint for the products that we sell to our customers. This is why you've seen a shift in how Shell is investing, and we are looking to lower and lower forms of carbon solutions for our customers. And that's why we've been investing more in renewables, in electric mobility, in EV storage, biofuels, biojet, all of those things that help us to get to net zero. And as you can see, we reached what we think will be peak carbon emissions from our operations or from our Scope 1, 2, 3 in 2018. And that was 1.7 gigatons per year in that year. And we're going to close the gap to get down to net zero by 2050. So this is quite a daunting challenge in some ways, but we can see our way to getting there. Obviously, given that our customers' footprint is such a big part of the target, we need our customers to be part of this journey with us. So we are really excited about that shift, perhaps, in how we're thinking about getting to net zero with our customers and with society. And when we talk about how to get to net zero, we have 3 buckets that we look to at Shell. So there's the avoiding emissions. So how do we either get to net zero at our own operations through energy efficiency, but also the solutions that we provide to our customers that have zero emissions, such as EV charge points, hydrogen, renewable energy, those sorts of things. And then the next bucket is reduce emissions. And these are the things that have a lower carbon footprint than what the solutions that we offer today. So these are things like biofuels or LNG or other lower emissions type of products to our customers. And then for any areas where we don't think that, or we don't have a solution yet today that is zero emitting, we will compensate with offsets. And this is where nature-based solutions comes in. A lot of our carbon credits, and certainly the bulk of them, will come from nature. And nature obviously can play a role because they offer us solutions today and they're available at scale today. To just show an example of where we've got projects already in our portfolio today, as I mentioned before, we're a global team, and you can see that we've got a number of projects in different parts of the world, and we're looking to expand our portfolio all the time. And in fact, now that we've got a grasslands project, I can put another dot on this map, which I'm super thrilled about. When Shell looks to invest in projects, we are really concerned about the integrity of the projects that we invest in. We want projects that will stand up to public scrutiny, government scrutiny, and we want to make sure that we are providing the benefits that we're promising to our customers. Because as I mentioned, our customers are a part of this journey with us. And if we're going to be offering carbon neutral projects or carbon neutral products to our customers, we need to be able to provide them with certainty that what we are offering is what is being delivered. So we look to third-party auditors or systems to make sure that we're following the best standards that we can. So we've evaluated a number of the crediting bodies, systems like the Climate Action Reserve, Verra, Gold Standard, and so on, to just satisfy ourselves that we are, in general, happy with their approach to carbon credits in their registries. But we also do due diligence ourselves to make sure that each and every project, as much as we can, we've looked to understand not only what the carbon credits piece looks like, but also the other co-benefits that may be claimed from a project. So we are working with PricewaterhouseCoopers to audit our NBS portfolio every year to make sure that we are living up to the promises as best we can. And again, this is because we want to make sure that what we're offering and what we're supporting are high integrity credits. So this brings me to our avoided conversion of grasslands project. So I am super excited about this. This project, although it is small in comparison to many of the other projects in our portfolio, goes beyond forestry. And I know that when I say nature-based solutions, many people think that I mean tree planting, but nature-based solutions can be a number of different types of projects related to the protection, the enhancement, or the restoration of natural ecosystems. So this can also include grasslands, wetlands, peatlands, and blue carbon as well. And grasslands, I think, has been possibly overlooked by some as a project type that has opportunity. But certainly when you look at Canada and the prairies, this is a credible project type. We think that this ecosystem, certainly there is the opportunity for conversion, which means that there is also a threat to these natural ecosystems, and perhaps there is some value in maintaining them for the biodiversity they offer, but also for the types of lifestyles that they offer for ranchers and landowners who value these ecosystems, but for whom there really wasn't a recognized economic value to retaining these grasslands. So obviously, we're going to test the practical feasibility of the CAR protocol. We're also going to better understand whether landowners find the terms and conditions of either the easements, the conservation agreements, and the protocols acceptable to them, whether they see this as a valuable opportunity. And we're also going to get to test some really interesting new technology, some remote sensing that perhaps not only reduces the cost for these projects, but perhaps reduces some of the need for landowners to always be there when we're doing the checking, the verification on their land. So perhaps it'll improve their experience as well with these types of projects. And of course, I've talked already about the biodiversity co-benefits, and this is something we want to see in many of the Shell projects, because it's fine to have the carbon benefit, but that isn't the only benefit typically in these projects. And it is, I think, to everybody's benefit to be able to see not just the climate change or the carbon benefit, but also to develop these projects in a way that is in support of the local community, the landowners, but also is able to deliver like biodiversity benefits, maintaining ecosystems for the species that we value as Canadians. And so I think that that is one of the the great opportunities with this project, is to be able to maintain some of those ecosystems. And we're hoping that this pilot project starts to prove out the concept, but that we can scale this up to something much larger in Canada that helps us to protect these ecosystems, to provide greater value for landowners, and certainly to recognize their role that they've been playing for quite some time in helping to maintain these ecosystems. We're also really pleased to be invited to participate in this project. So thank you to the Canadian Forage and Grasslands Association and Varesco for inviting Shell to participate. We see great strength in the diversity of the participants in the project. Many of them already have understanding of the landowners, the ranchers, the farmers, and also the land trusts have really good knowledge of the landscapes and the biodiversity benefits as well. And so we're thrilled to have all that expertise. And we're one of the players, but certainly hope to be full participants in the project. I'm also really excited to be engaged with our government colleagues at both the national and the provincial level, to help them to understand the value of these types of projects and how it fits in their climate change frameworks, because we think that there is greater value to the participants in the project if we can also recognize this in Canada's environment and climate change plans. So maybe I will just leave it there. And if anybody has any questions for me, I'm happy to stay around for the Q&A part of the presentation today.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Denise. And thanks so much for coming to the table with this partnership.